Hey, what is going on, crypto people? So, listen, what the word? What the freaking world is going on? What the? Did you not see what happened? Oh my gosh. Did you not just see what happened? The world is changing. The world is changing. Look, expedited changes and updates to the Ethereum ETF all of a sudden out of nowhere. No, it's not all of a sudden out of nowhere. The crypto vote. Your vote matters, baby. Your vote matters. They've done the polling. They've had their consultants do all the vetting. The word is out and the results are in. The crypto vote matters. We're going to hear from Representative McHenry today say that very thing. Something that we talked about on the channel a few months back, even if not even a year ago. We said that when the vote began to matter, when the crypto vote began to matter, damn we said there was a certain side of the aisle not so pro crypto, certain side of the aisle more pro crypto. This is what we said. And we said when the crypto vote, when it would become significant, when it would matter, we talked about on this channel all the time. Will you be willing to put your vote where your generational wealth lies? Will you be willing to do that? Or are you going to just do what your ma did and what your pa did, your grandma did, and your grandpa did, and your great-great-grandma did? Didn't we say that? Time and time again. Legendary. What's going on, my guy? Didn't we say that? And it has paid off and it's paying off, but the work's not done. We're gonna hear from Patrick McHenry, Representative McHenry today. We said it. It would matter. We could make a difference, and we have made that difference. And we got both. There's more work to get done. This is just kind of the beginning. We'll see. We'll see ultimately what's going to happen in a few days with the Ethereum ETF. But Representative McHenry says there's something more important to pay attention to see if we're going in the right direction. Well, we're gonna watch some stuff today. It's very interesting stuff. I mean, it's great to see Ethereum getting, yeah. I mean, that's great. We're running things now. Yes, sir. Listen, that's some great news, right? You know what? Let me see if we do something. Maybe I need to do this. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Let me make sure the Twitter world knows, the X world knows, the crypto season fam is hanging out tonight. Legendary got the Blue Ranger in the building. We got to let them know. We got to let them know. Got to let them know what's good. We got to let them know. All right. So we did that. All right. It's all good. Let's get in here. This is going to be some good stuff. Look, it matters. What we're doing matters. Joe, that's funny, bro. That is funny. Well, something like that happened. I mean, I just got to be honest with you. Something like that happened. But, Representative McHenry is going to let us know the real. And it's important to know the real. It's important to know the insights because, how many times have we said on this channel and have we posted on X? We can no longer afford to be naive. We got to know, right? We have to know. I mean, I went on a little rant, I don't know, once, twice, three times about this freaking little measly two, three, $400,000 in a super PAC. Like, what? That's not going to work. That's not going to work. They amped that up big time. Once they got the word, 2, 3, 400,000. You got Binance and freaking Coinbase and Ripple in this space, and you talking about a few $100,000. That's not going to work. So it's getting out, and it matters. Our vote matters, and it's cool to see. Bankless did a really good job on the interview. They aired the interview today. I don't know when they actually did it, but we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. I mean, the numbers, we'll go over the numbers. The market's doing what it does. I didn't know that one of the bills that passed in the House was going to essentially turn over the digital asset space essentially over to the Department of Commerce. I did not know. Maybe I didn't understand what that bill was. I think it was the deployment of the Blockchain Technology Act or something, but it kind of turns the space over to the Department of Commerce. That's more like it, Joe. 100 million so far with pro crypto super PACs, 100 million. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the FIT Act is a different thing. The FIT Act kind of defines what a digital asset is, and it's going to obviously, it gives you some groundwork and frameworks for what it could be considered a security and what might be considered a commodity. It's interesting that they're using the reference to decentralization as that reference. That's interesting to me, that they're using that, but I guess they're using that as opposed to using the Howey test. And that's what it feels like that they're doing. They're using that instead of the Howey test. Look, Ethereum is doing this thing. We'll go over the numbers, because the market's doing what it does. We'll go over the numbers a little bit. It's great to see Ethereum up. I mean, that's awesome. We hold some ETH. I mean, it's awesome, but Joe says, whoever gets the SEC out of crypto is fine with me. I hear you, man. Yeah, so this, it's an interesting thing here. What is it called? Deploying American Blockchains Act of 2023. Yeah, I hadn't heard it. I hadn't heard it before. Well, at least I didn't think it was turning, the main stuff over to the Department of Commerce, which is awesome. I'll go over that as well. Crop is in the building. What's going on, my friend? It's good to see you. Look, so this is an exciting time for sure. We said that what we do matters. We've said it on the channel time and time again. What we do matters. Don't let the people tell you that you can't make a difference. There was some XRP entertaining content creators suggesting that we can't make a difference. Can't move markets. You can't move them? Who do you think moves the market? Banks and institutions? Unbelievable. So, in any case, there it is. So let's get into let's go over the market real quick. Ethereum shot up. I don't know. What do you think, guys? What do you think the passes of an Ethereum ETF would do for the market? I'm wondering. I don't know. I heard that IO.net launched their token today, but I can't find it. I can't find it. Let me refresh CoinGecko, make sure we're good. Yeah, so we're at 71,000. We're at 70,000 now. Okay, so the total cryptocurrency market cap is still 2.75 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is still 50%. Bitcoin's trading at $70,125. Ethereum is at 37.87, $3,787. It got as high as $3,800. I know. Solana back in range, baby. Give me them fees. Give me them fees, baby. It's $178 now. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna find out. XRP is trading at 53 cents. It was at 54 cents earlier today. Got some double figure greens, and that's cool and all. Let me find this thing here. Ryan Selkes is in motion. The dude ain't just talking. Dude is in motion. Meeting up with Trump. What the? Dude is putting his money where his generational wealth lies. I guess this is old. I'm not sure. Maybe this is a day or so old, but Good Morning Crypto. I thought I covered 3 different things, but I don't remember this one. The Deploying American Blockchains Act of 2023 has passed the House. According to this House bill, the Secretary of the Department of Commerce shall serve as the principal advisor to the president regarding blockchain. This removes the power, according to this guy here, saying this removes the power from the SEC over Ripple and XRP case, signaling another win for crypto adoption in the U.S. Now, this is from the Blockchain Act that passed. It says, function of the secretary. The secretary shall serve as the principal advisor to the president for policy pertaining to the deployment, use, application, and competitiveness of blockchain technology or distributed ledger technology. Applications built on blockchain technology or other distributed ledger technology, comma, tokens, comma, and tokenization. So, I mean, that's good stuff, but I'm going to share a video that I think is more significant. So now listen, the word on the street is everybody's doing their thing. VanEck Spot Ethereum ETF was added to the DTCC website. That's interesting because they don't have an ETF yet. I think Ryan Selkis has a great point. And Representative McHenry confirms it. Ryan Selkis says, at 2-Bit Idiot on X, says, President Trump showed up for crypto. In 1 week, sparked a $200 billion plus crypto market rally, forced Senate Dems into submission on SAB 121, forced the resignation of the FDIC chair, forced the SEC to reverse course on its ETF's approval, and up the FIT odds of passage, which is McHenry's deal, up the odds of it being passed. Oh, I kind of agree with the dude. I'm gonna let you listen to Caitlin Long here real quick because I think, oh, is that the one? That's not the one. Where is it? Is it this one? Caitlin Long went out there and let some people know that some stuff about who was responsible for, her, not getting the great news that she wanted from the Fed. She laid it out. She absolutely laid it out in a testimony, a sworn testimony, basically saying it was the powers that be at the top of this country was a person working there who sent the word to deny this thing. Now, what do you think that person at the top in the, not the person at the top, but the person in the top of that administration, not the, but a part of that administration. Now, what do you think he got his marching orders from? To deny this lady what she was trying to do. Yeah, what do you think she got that word? I thought I had the video, but I must have it somewhere else. She just laid it out. She's like, no, this is what happened. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I mean, it's bold. It's a bold statement. It is a bold statement. Nope. It's not front and center, so it means I'll never find it. All right, so guys, let me get to the chat. Welcome those who came in, and then we're going to cover what I think was a phenomenal interview. Phenomenal. Kyle T. Moore is in the building. What's going on, my guy? Part of the GWW Mastermind group. Right. Legendary said, yeah, it rhymes with Osama. Oh my goodness. Joe says there's 3 issues. 1, the banks can hold crypto. 2, the SEC versus CFT overseas issues. And 3, the stablecoin bill. It's like 3 big things came up in 1 week. And now 4, the Dems are not anti-crypto anymore. Yeah, they got their marching orders. Look, the crypto vote matters. If you want a gig, if you want a gig and you want to continue in that gig, being, starting an anti-crypto army was not the move. Was not the move. An anti-crypto army. What was she thinking? Man. All right, let me get to the video because the internet is not working. What was she thinking? What was she thinking? All right, let me see. How do I do this? Let's go here.
Bankless Nation, we are very excited to introduce our next guest, Congressman Patrick McHenry. He is the chair of the House Financial Services Committee. He's a key supporter of FIT for the 21st Century Act. This is a bill. It's major crypto legislation that's going to Congress for vote this week. Representative McHenry, welcome to Bankless.
Awesome to be with you. Fun to listen, but even better to be on with you.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm excited that you're a listener. I don't know how many listeners we have in DC, but there's more than a handful. I guess the topic of DC is first and foremost in the crypto listeners' mind this week, because it feels like it's going to be a big week for crypto in DC. And I just want to remind people a few things as we this conversation. There's three big things that are happening this week. First of all, we got the SAB 121 repeal, which you've heard David and I talk about. That bill is going to Biden's desk, so past Congress. The big question is he going to let this pass or is he going to veto? We also have the SEC approving or denying the Ethereum ETF. That's a decision that's going to happen on Thursday, hopefully. And also we have this House vote on the FIT bill that Patrick McHenry here has been championing, and we'll talk about that. I want to begin this conversation with, I guess, a broader conversation, which is how about crypto in DC? Like, what's the temperature on crypto in DC? Lately, we've had even the political media institutions like Politico saying maybe this is an election issue. There's been polls released by crypto industry groups that show up to 20% of voters, key swing states, identify crypto as a major issue. So the broadest of questions here to kick us off, is crypto now a 2024 election issue?
Yes. The thing that has shifted here is that an industry that they said was dead is not dead. And once they said it was dead, it was undead. And they said it was dead again. So it's a whole wave of all this stuff. And the last time DC assumed everything was dead was after FTX blew up. And you have a lot of my colleagues that got implicated in Sam Bankman-Fried's shenanigans. I don't know the right way to say
That's
it.
a good word. We like that word. That's acceptable. Yeah.
Shenanigans. That's better than using profanity. But it keeps going, and you have new innovations that are built on this new technology, and then people experience that because the populace asks elected officials about it. I think what we see mainly is a generational divide, less of a partisan divide in the House of Representatives. Those that have been more recently elected been asked this question in their election process, so they had to answer, and they had to do a little work and research if they didn't otherwise know. And those election questions make us better policymakers. The questions we get from constituents and from voters make us sharpen up our response to them, either in the affirmative or the negative, and really make us work through our arguments. So I think the fact that we actually have crypto voters, that is a powerful enabler of sound public policy and forces Washington actually move.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and I'm going to get back to that as well. But so the crypto vote matters, and this is the thing in DC. This is the thing. It's a thing. It is a thing. And I'm going to get to a part where he talks about what we can do as well. But if my internet will just play along, that would be super cool if it does. Barry, that's number one. So he's laying it out. It matters. Our vote significantly matters. That's right, Kyle. That's what it is. And he speaks to the young voters as well in that interview. More people than ever, says Kyle Timor, more people than ever see a way out of financial problems that they can control themselves, where the system isn't controlled beyond your control. We are going to vote for the people that allow us to do that. Right. That's exactly right. And this is something that we said on the channel before. This whole idea of, that some other thing was going to do it. No, we don't want another thing to do it. We want to be able to choose our own money, right? This is the thing we say on the channel all the time. Choose our own money, choose the monetary policy that comes along with it, and choose how we want to store it, not them. Not them. He just said that the newly elected had to answer some questions. They had to answer some questions. Later on in this video, Representative McHenry says that everybody is paying attention. They're on Twitter. He just said he listens to the Bankless channel. They listen to the YouTube channels. They read the stuff that's going on in X. They see things like a movement where you got a website listing. Let me stop the share here. You got a website listing, I think it's standwithcrypto.org, listing the ones who are pro-crypto and the ones who aren't. And suggesting that we're going to make a difference in the 2024 election. And you better be in the know. You better be in the know. You better be pro-crypto. You better be pro-innovation in this country. You better be pro-giving the people who have been operating in a not-so-level playing field, who've been stripped of their wealth, who've been stripped of their personal wealth by way of taxation and inflation, an opportunity to win. And the digital asset space represents that opportunity. It represents that opportunity in a big time way, in a big way. You can't tell all these people that have become millionaires and paid off debt and all this other stuff without having to be a accredited investor, without having to have the NASDAQ stuff and the S&P stuff, right? They can do this in their own time with their own money. They can take $10 and turn it to 100, 100 to 1,000. They're getting 100%, 50% of their money every single year in the digital asset space. Every single year. And you're trying to take that away from us. No, we're not going to stand for it. And this is proving it out. This shift in with these ETFs, that's not Gary just saying, okay, that's not Gary. That's coming from the top, baby. It's coming from the top. Because the vote is what matters. We said it, legendary. How many times have we said it? Your vote matters. It's going to matter. It's going to matter. And Representative McHenry shares some, I'm telling you, it's some really, really good stuff. And it's very, very enlightening. It really, really is. It's an eye-opener. It's like an inside view of what's going on and what really, really matters. And he's letting us know, those of us who are on the outside, we're not on the inside. He's letting us know, stop thinking that your vote don't matter. Don't stop thinking that things are just going to stay the same. And it does matter. It really does. Let me share some more of that video if I can get my internet to cooperate. Let's see. I want to go to a specific part. Yeah, there was some good stuff here. Check out kind of what they ask him about current administration, and has their sentiment changed? Listen, this was an interesting one.
Well, so Biden has said that he intends to veto this bill, and he said that before we got this 68-30 vote out of the Senate. I think he has 7 days to actually
This is the
sign
SAB
that veto.
121.
Do you think that any of his calculus has changed as a result of this vote, or do you think that he's actually going to be in somewhat of a bind with so many Democrats signaling not being aligned with his veto?
Well, let's see what he says about the FIT 21 bill. Because the staff accounting bulletin just is how institutions hold crypto. Do they hold it like you'd hold a stock or a bond in custody for someone, or do you have to hold it on your balance sheet and hold capital against it as if it's a liability? So this is a technical thing. The president being for his own the regulatory policy that came from his appointee makes sense. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, Joe Biden appointed Gary Gensler, chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Senate confirmed him. So you had Democrat senators that voted in favor of him to become the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, but you also had the president nominate him. So they can answer for that. The question now is on this larger bill on the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or FIT 21 as we're calling it. This bipartisan bill we've marked up out of committee, both the House Agriculture Committee that deals with commodities and the House Financial Services Committee that deals with securities. We had bipartisan votes out of those committees, my committee of financial services that I chair, and the House Ag Committee in July of last year. We lost a little momentum because the fall of last year is kind of nuts in the House of Representatives, and that's a separate story. We can go down that rabbit hole, but without a Speaker of the House, and for me to serve as acting Speaker or Speaker pro tem, for October, kind of threw off the schedule in a way that I didn't plan for. I personally didn't plan for any of that, but anyway, legislatively, my hope was to get this bill voted on in the fall of last year, and we'd had much more optionality of getting this signed into law, or something like this signed into law this Congress. But here we are in May of the election year. I think it's more important what the president says about FIT 21 this week than whether or not he vetoes SAB 121. If he vetoes SAB 121, as we expect, but says something positive about what we've done here that will help unlock innovation here in the United States, make sure that we keep pace in regulatory policy with Europe, with Japan, even with Hong Kong. This is that's going to be the bigger statement, I think, from the White House, and they're either going to be pro crypto or anti crypto, and they'll have to answer for it.
Yeah, it's just fascinating.
They're either going to be pro crypto or anti crypto, and they're going to have to answer for it. Very, very good. All right, so I want to get down to the stablecoin legislation was good. Let's do this one here.
One other thing before we move to close, this is still maybe tactical. It feels very much like the crypto industry and like startups and like even consumer products are under assault. So the SEC now has lawsuits against 5 major US crypto companies that are completely legitimate. We're not talking about FTX, which like nothing happened with that. We're talking about Coinbase. We're talking about Kraken. We're talking about Uniswap. We're talking about Consensus. We're talking about, just in the last 2 weeks, Robinhood as well. Is there anything we can do with respect to that? Like, it feels like our homegrown US companies are under assault by our very regulators that we're supposed to foster innovation. Does the FIT 21, does that solve this, or how do we bring a solution to play for this?
Well, it's directionally, it's the opposite direction that the Securities and Exchange Commission is going. We're providing clarity. They're providing ambiguity. They're going after companies that went public in the last 3, 4, 5 years. under the Securities Exchange Commission's requirements. And now the SEC is going after their business practices that they accepted in their offerings to the public. So, we've got to have a check on the Securities Exchange Commission, and we have to have clarity. FIT 21 is the way to do that. The ballot box is the way to do that. Crypto voters making their voices heard to members of the House and the Senate, and saying that their votes at the ballot box are going to be impacted by how these members of Congress treat digital assets and crypto broadly. I think that is the powerful voice. Our system gets it right. Our governmental system gets it right over time. In the short run, we do many things wrong as Americans, but over the long term, we get it right. The reason why we get it right is elections have consequences, society moves forward, and the people's needs are, the elected officials are responsive to the people's needs over time because of elections. Mm-hmm. Those things are powerful. We got to make sure that we speak clearly with our voice, and we tell the elected officials what we want, what we expect, and then we hold them accountable if they don't follow what we request, or if they do.
Speaking of the election, the 2024 election, I think, is going to be the most relevant to crypto there's ever been. Both presidential candidates have indicated their alignment towards the crypto industry or not. Biden with his statement to veto SAB 121. Donald Trump, as a reaction to that statement to veto, has more or less said that I am the pro-crypto president because look at what Biden is doing. There's a conversation in the crypto industry of people expressing skepticism of Donald Trump's commitment to crypto simply because it's free real estate for him. Like crypto single issue voters are seeing what Biden is putting out there and looking at Donald Trump and saying, well, he's being friendly to us. But other people are skeptical that Donald Trump is actually planning on following through on any sort of commitment to the crypto industry. I'm wondering if you have any just like thoughts or reflections as to like what the actual stakes are for both Biden and Donald Trump as it comes to the 2024 election, and whether you have any sort of indication of the credible statements from Donald Trump here.
Well, let's see what they say about this bill. Let's see what they say about FIT 21. Number one. Number two, you have to have policy behind words. President Biden issued an executive order that was broadly, I would say, a little inclined towards crypto. That's how I took it when he did it. And now that I've produced legislation out of my committee responsive to that executive order, he's nowhere to be found. So let's see how he responds. And I want them both to be for FIT 21, right? And I want this left up to crypto voters on who you believe and who's going to carry out the policy set that the voters want. But I'm interested in what they're going to do. You can hold people accountable in the election process. They've got to put more oomph behind their words. They've got to put policy behind their words and who they're going to appoint to these important agencies, because that'll send a clear sign on whether or not you're pro or anti-crypto.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the real deal there, right? That is the real deal. I'm going to get to the chat here, and then I'm going to share exactly at FIT 21. Joe says, I didn't see this. It's informative. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really good stuff. It's finally subpoena to do. Yeah, I know. Right? And so, look, this is a great, and I'm going to leave the link here. He's going to give his explanation, or he's going to in his words, what this FIT 21 is. I wanted to cover that. So let's do that, and then we'll wrap up. But I think it was important to hear it from the horse's mouth. What exactly is this Financial Innovation Technology Act, the 21st Century FIT 21 Act? What is this about? Let's take listen to McHenry.
Outcomes. And their voice needs to be heard by Congress. So it's perfect timing, I think, for lawmakers to sort of contemplate FIT. Can you tell us what it is? So the Fit 21 Act, tell us what it does for crypto. Maybe first talk to the crypto listeners in our audience who are quite frankly pretty fed up, Representative, with the way crypto legislation and the way the U.S. is reacting to this industry and to the community and to average everyday Americans who hold crypto. Yeah, sell it to us. What does this do for crypto?
So currently in federal law, we have no definition of what is a digital asset. So we have people that put out a white paper and pretend to be Satoshi and are fraudsters. And we have no definition of what that is. It is buyer beware. You have people that are pretending to be innovators, like FTX, and they're running their whole business on a spreadsheet, like on an Excel spreadsheet with QuickBooks. I mean, so that's not the type of innovation we want. We don't want fraudsters to be able to run roughshod over this place. We want real innovation. So first, we have a definition under federal law of what is a digital asset for the first time. Second, we provide clarity between the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission on who regulates what. We have securities and we have commodities. Those are defined in federal law. And then according to this act in point 1, we have a definition of a digital asset. So if you're a digital asset and you are truly decentralized, you're a commodity. And if you're not decentralized, then you're probably a security. And that's the clarity we need because the SEC is fighting with the CFTC. And when the kids are fighting, Congress, the parent, has to step in and say, you get this responsibility, you get that responsibility. And here are the clear dividing lines. This is what the Europeans have done with MiCA on giving a definition. It's what they've done in the UK. It's what they've done in Hong Kong. It's what they've done in Singapore. It's what they've done in Japan. Provide clarity of what it is and how you exchange it, how you buy it, how you sell it. What are your property rights for the asset? And that's what we provide in this law. So point 1 is the definition. Point 2 is the definition. It is who controls the means of exchange, the SEC or the CFTC. And then we get into all the particulars of the property right and the exchange. So we don't just say to the CFTC and the SEC, have at it. We specify to them that this is a new, unique, definitive thing that needs to be treated as a unique thing under regulation. And so we prescribe that with both the SEC and the CFTC. It's clarity. I mean, that is clarity. So you don't have the Securities Exchange Commission under Gary Gensler running roughshod over innovators that are truly trying to comply with the law, but have found themselves afoul of the Gensler regime, the SEC.
Found themselves afoul of the Gensler regime. Yeah, there it is. So there it is, family. Listen, that's some good stuff. Bankless did a really good job. You just go to Bankless and Google Bankless on YouTube, you'll find that. But let me do this chat. He did a really, really good job with that interview. Both of them were great. So things are looking up for sure. Your vote matters. We said it on the channel that it would, and it's coming to fruition. The question still remains, though, will you, and again, you're going to have to ask the questions. At the end of this interview, he highlights the significance of making a phone call. He says, yep, we get emails. We get emails. We read the emails, and we do get mail. Believe it or not, do get mail. He said it, but it's the phone call. It's the phone call to your representative and expressing your desires that makes the difference. That really makes a difference. Not that the email doesn't, not that the mail doesn't, but that phone call does. And surely, when you get a chance to answer some questions, I don't know how the phone call stuff works. When you call, obviously you're going to speak to a representative of that person, I would imagine. But he was saying that is the thing that makes a difference. It's that phone call. It's calling in to your representative and saying, this is what we want. This is what we want. I'm a voting person. I pay my taxes, and this is what we want to see happen, right? So mentioning the Fit 21 and other things like that you want to see, the stablecoin legislation, It matters. And they pay attention to those phone calls. So there it is, family. I wanted to bring that to you. I know we share that on the channel a lot. We ask the question all the time is, will you put your vote where your generational wealth lies? Will you be willing to do that? Or are you going to just vote like your mom did and your pop did and your grandma and your grandpa? Or are you going to put it where your generational wealth lies? Because the old financial system, it's not working for the vast majority of people. And this new financial system, again, can create all kind of millionaires with a level playing field where you can earn, 20, 30, 40% on your stablecoin money. Look, I mean, this recent news of Flare with the stablecoin, I mean, that's awesome. They're getting into the RWA space and they're hooking up with Clearpool. That's awesome. The earned yield is going to be great for the agents as well in that system. I mean, that's big, big news. I noticed that the XRP entertaining content creators didn't cover that Flare stablecoin. Did you guys notice it? I mean, maybe I missed it. But I don't recall the mention of the Flare stablecoin and the Flare RWA launching. I don't recall it. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Yeah. USDX. Maybe I missed it. I know on my video earlier today, I shared that. Crypto Eddie shared some stuff as well. Yeah, I don't know where they got USDX from. I heard, like, was it Cardano's stable was that? Or I don't know, but and that's always going to be a problem too. With those 4 letters, right? Because then they're going to have to be like, it's going to have to be FL USDX or FLR USDX, to clarify who's stable that you're getting and all that kind of stuff like that. But I didn't hear any mention of that. That's big. Isn't that big news? Flare getting a stable and RWA play as well. That's pretty big. Didn't hear a peep. Not a peep. Okay. Not a freaking peep. Lock your door when you get in a car. Like, not a peep. Didn't hear a peep. I'm just saying, isn't that big news? I think it's great news. I was Googling this morning how to become a Flare Network agent. I mean, the agent's going to do some stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they do KYC AML. I know anything with that RWA is going to be some KYC AML. I know that part. I know that. But they're hooking up with the major player in the RWA space. A major player in the RWA space. Clearpool and Hut Funds, a Hut something. I mean, that's big deal. Who is it? I had that. But it's a big deal. Hex Trust. They're hooking up with Hex Trust. It's a big deal. Major player in RWA space. So let's pay attention to see how that goes. But that's coming. I don't know how soon. I don't know how soon the stable's getting here. I don't know. It feels like they're ahead of Ripple. It feels like it. I don't know, but it feels like Flare Networks is ahead of the XRPL. That's what it feels like that. We'll see. Stable coins coming. I don't know how soon, but it's going to be excellent for us. We need more choices, not less choices. I noticed that the XRP entertaining creators have changed their stance on Bitcoin. Now it's just a smart play financially. Listen, it's smart to get into this thing. This thing. Yowzers, right? So there it is, family. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you guys checking in on a Tuesday evening. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. I wanted to let you guys know that your vote does matter and making that phone call does matter. And if you want to know, get an idea for where you are in your local state, I think it's standwithcrypto.org. Let's do that. And you could find out, I guess you can put your state in and find out apparently the one in Tejas apparently is. Because I think he just went to an event, Mr. Cruz. Stand with crypto.org. Yeah, that's it. Let me see something here. Politician. Tell your representative to vote yes on the key vote for Fit 21. Send it. Oh, you can send an email and you can do it that way. Okay. But I thought it told you with Stand with CryptoPat 2024 House and Senate endorsements. Oh wow. And they give them a grade. So people have an A, you can donate to them. Anyway, standwithcrypto.org. You guys can check that out for sure. I want to see that there. Yeah. Yeah. The Trump campaign is accepting crypto, and XRP is one of the four, what is it, 5 or 6 that's listed? That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see. Of course. Crypto vote matters, family. All right, guys, there it is. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate each and every one of you doing that. And guys, do me a favor and hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. And if you're one of that in that 50% group that's hanging out with the Crypto Siege but haven't decided to subscribe yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. We want to get that 50% down below. Just get that thing down to 30% or less. See if we can make that happen. I appreciate that. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams to remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.